Hey everyone, it's Dr. Wang. In this episode, we're diving into the fascinating realm of the word
结婚
which means marriage in English. Let's kick things off by taking a closer look at the character.
结
Is a combination of
密
and
集密
is a radical related to threads, giving us a hint about its connection to ropes or strings. On the right,
集
provides the pronunciation but has shifted considerably from its original sound over time. This evolution in pronunciation is a common feature in the development of written language, and there's no clear right or wrong here. The Chinese character
集
means very good. In its original form, it was a combination of an upward arrow and a mouth. According to linguists, the upward arrow represents a warrior holding a weapon. This arrow later evolved into the character
士
which means soldier. The cross above the shi character is a reinforcement patch on a warrior's robe. The horizontal bar below the cross represents territory. This cross patch reminds me of the Crusaders of the Middle Ages. So, we can use the image of a crusader standing on a large piece of land to help us remember the character.
士
When soldiers stand on their territory to defend their homeland, people can proudly boast that their territory is secure. This is a very good thing, so it's
集
the visual representation of
结
closely relates to its meaning, depicting intertwined threads or ropes. This primary definition extended to signify intersections, unity, and collaboration along the thread's path. When ropes are woven from loose or open structures into a tied structure, we use the term knot to describe this, as seen in terms like necktie or bow tie. Additionally,
结
took on the meaning of completion or finalization. When applied to plants, it indicates bearing fruit. So, when applied to human relationships, it signifies a mutual agreement between a man and a woman, creating a bond known as marriage. Furthermore, due to temperature changes,
结
is also used in phrases like freeze. This connects to the idea that when ropes are knotted, they become more secure and stable.
结
Even reflects a state of being firmly tied or emotionally intertwined. If your heart is bound in knots, it's a sign of emotional turmoil. In traditional Chinese, the character
密
has 3 dots below to represent 3 strands of rope. Let's practice writing the strokes of the character.
结
When writing, remember to first draw the texture of the rope. Below, draw 3 dots to represent 3 strands of rope. Then, draw a crusader standing on the ground on the right. Below, draw a mouth. This is how people can proudly boast about enjoying such a good situation. By using these associations to write characters, you don't need to memorize them.
结结结结结结结结结结结结
The simplified character for
结
merges the 3 dots that represent the 3 strands of rope
密
into a single stroke that goes from left to right and up. This is a common rule used in simplified characters. Now, let's practice the simplified character for
结结结结结结结结结结
Now, let's explore the character.
婚
It consists of the
女
radical, which we've previously discussed, symbolizing a woman. The character on the right is
婚
portraying the sun below a person, clearly depicting dusk or twilight. The additional
士
character from Oracle Bone script indicates a person carrying something. In a whimsical way, it brings to mind a caveman dragging a woman by her hair to a cave, perhaps signifying a primitive form of marriage in ancient times. These creative associations help us remember the character's visual and semantic elements. When writing,
婚
start with
女
to represent the woman being dragged, then draw the male figure, struggling under the weight of his bride. The horizontal line in
士
can symbolize the hefty female form. Finish with the re character under the man's feet to denote twilight. In this manner, we tell a story while writing the character.
婚婚婚婚婚婚婚婚婚婚婚
Now, isn't learning Chinese characters more fun with these imaginative connections? So, there you have it, the intricate world of
结婚
where threads, unity, and the union of man and woman create the beautiful concept of marriage. Next, let's talk about the character.
了
From its pictographic meaning, it is a person without arms who is hunched over. We can imagine that this person's arms are hanging down at his sides, and he looks quite tired. He must have just completed a difficult task. This is the meaning of the character.
了
When it appears in a sentence, it means that the event has been completed. It is the past tense in English. We can think of it as ed. When we see it, it means that it is past tense, it has been completed. For example, the sentence
结婚了
means that the action of getting married has been completed. Now, let's practice writing this character. First, draw the stroke on top that represents the head. Then, draw the second stroke, which is hunched over. Add a small hook at the end to increase the aesthetic appeal.
了了
Here are some practice exercises for the radicals that are components of the character,
结婚
which means marriage. These radicals are
密集是口女婚是日
You can review these radicals and their meanings in our previous episodes to better understand their roles in.
结婚
Now, let's dive into practicing how to write these characters.
密
This radical means silk and is related to textiles. Practice writing this radical to enhance your recognition.
吉
The radical
吉
represents auspiciousness or good luck. Try to create words or phrases with this radical.
是
The
是
radical signifies scholar or gentleman. Practice writing characters that contain this radical.
口
The
口
radical refers to mouth or speech. Experiment with characters that feature this radical.
女
The
女
radical denotes woman or female. Write characters containing this radical to reinforce your understanding.
婚
The
婚
radical means dusk or darkness. Explore characters using this radical to solidify your knowledge.
是
The
是
radical is related to clan or family name. Write characters that incorporate this radical to practice.
日
The
日
radical stands for sun or day. Practice writing characters with this radical to improve your recognition. By practicing these radicals, you'll gain a deeper insight into the character
结婚
and enhance your overall understanding of Chinese characters. Don't forget to review our previous episodes for more in-depth explanations and examples. I want to give a big shout out to the learning program for stroke order of Chinese characters, supported by Taiwan's Ministry of Education, for their invaluable assistance. While you're working on mastering the stroke order, remember to keep the associated stories and pronunciations in mind to ensure effective learning. After you've gone through the stroke order practice, have you managed to commit the pronunciations, characters, and the stories behind these Chinese words to memory? So, there you have it, some enjoyable and memorable ways to learn Chinese pronunciations and characters using a creative method based on scaffolding learning theory. Thank you for tuning into this episode of our educational series. If you found our teaching approach helpful and enjoyable for your Chinese learning journey, please give us a thumbs up and show your support. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to receive more teaching episodes. Also, consider